I told my brother that I have one brother, and you are not him. The nephrologist's words hit like a freight train. Stage 5 kidney failure. Dialysis 3 times weekly. Life expectancy without transplant, maybe 2 years. My younger brother Ethan grabbed my hand across the desk. His grip was tight, desperate, the kind of touch that promised everything would be okay. The doctor kept talking about donor lists and compatibility testing and survival rates, but all I heard was the blood rushing in my ears. We'd always been close, Ethan and I, 2 years apart, but people often mistook us for twins. Growing up, we'd been each other's only constant after Dad died and Mom worked 3 jobs to keep us fed. Ethan was my best friend, my backup, my person. When the doctor mentioned living donor transplants, Ethan didn't hesitate. He leaned forward and said he'd get tested that week. The certainty in his voice made me believe survival was possible. The compatibility results came back 3 weeks later. Perfect match. 6 out of 6 antigens aligned, tissue typing ideal, blood work flawless. The transplant coordinator called it a medical gift, the kind of sibling match that happened maybe 30% of the time. Ethan was on speakerphone when we got the news, and I heard him whoop with joy. He promised to start the donor evaluation process immediately, said he'd already requested time off from his job. We celebrated that night with takeout Chinese food at my place, toasting with ginger ale because alcohol was off my restricted list. Ethan raised his plastic cup and declared himself my personal kidney hero. The evaluation process took 8 weeks. Ethan passed every test with flying colors. His kidney function was excellent, no underlying health issues. Psychological screening cleared him as mentally prepared for donation. The surgeon, Dr. Patricia Okonkwo, explained the procedure would be laparoscopic for Ethan, minimally invasive with recovery time around 4 to 6 weeks. For me, it meant freedom from dialysis, a return to normal life, possibly decades added to my survival. We scheduled surgery for October 15th, exactly 3 months from my initial diagnosis. Ethan marked it on his calendar with a star and wrote Kidney Day like it was Christmas morning. My health deteriorated faster than expected during those 3 months. The dialysis kept me alive but barely functional. I lost 23 pounds I couldn't afford to lose. My skin took on a grayish tinge, and exhaustion became my permanent state. Work granted medical leave after I fell asleep during a client presentation. My apartment became a prison of pill bottles and dietary restrictions. Ethan visited twice weekly, bringing movies and gossip from the outside world. He'd sit on my couch and talk about office drama and his girlfriend Meredith's latest complaints, normal life that felt impossibly distant from my medical purgatory. 2 weeks before surgery, Ethan seemed distracted during one of his visits. He kept checking his phone, typing long messages, laughing at things I couldn't see. When I asked what was so fascinating, he said work was crazy, some big campaign launch happening. He left earlier than normal, claiming he had dinner plans with Meredith's parents. I fell asleep on the couch at 7 p.m., too exhausted to make it to my bedroom. 1 week before surgery, Ethan called instead of visiting. His voice sounded strange, tight, and formal, like he was reading from a script. He said he'd had a minor cold and didn't want to risk getting me sick before the operation. The concern seemed reasonable, but something in his tone made my stomach clench. I asked if everything was okay with the donation, if he was having second thoughts. He laughed, too loud and too long, and assured me he was completely committed. We confirmed the surgery time, 6 a.m. at Metropolitan General. After we hung up, I sat holding the phone and feeling an unnamed dread creep up my